Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Jatin and I'm currently an MBA student. I'm very excited to be making this video today. As you guys can already tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be going over how to use the iCloud calendar for maximum productivity. My calendar has been the main reason as to why I got accepted into medical school and also got accepted into my MBA program. But other than that, it's also helped me build stronger family relationships and better friendships. So yeah, let's get started. Wait a second. In my last year of undergrad, I was the most productive I'd ever been. I was volunteering at 4 different weekly initiatives, working out 2 hours, 5 days of the week, working 2 part-time jobs. I was studying, hanging out with friends and family, all while being able to achieve a high 90 academic average in school. I know that sounds like a lot, but the truth is, I was not like that before. And the reason I was able to be this productive was because of me being diligent with my calendar while making plans. So using a calendar can and will help you reach your maximum productivity potential, or at the bare minimum, help you be more organized. So for this video, first I'll go into the basics of how to use the iCloud calendar. Then we'll talk about the benefits it can have in your life while showing you some personal examples of how I organize my calendar. And lastly, I'll discuss things to be aware of and the limitations of this calendar. I've also added the timestamps in the video description for your convenience. So this is what the calendar interface would look like. It's blank right now because I've made all of my calendar categories not visible. Everything I will show you can be done on your phone or your iPad and even on iCloud.com. But for a demonstration purpose, I've chosen to record this on my MacBook. At the heart of the iCloud calendar organization are categorizing calendars into different colors. As you can see here on the left, you can assign different colors to different calendars. We'll put an example calendar down for, let's say, class lectures. Let me show you how to make a new category. You click on the file icon on the top here, then you can add a new calendar. You want to add this to your iCloud account. It shows me Microsoft Exchange here as well, and I will explain why later on in this video. Now that we added this calendar, let's create an event for neurology class. So as you saw there, when I was typing it, it also gave me suggestions based on past events I've added, which is convenient from time to time. But anyways, I'm using this example because I know I'll be able to add some extra details onto this. First off, we have the location. So before COVID, I used to add the building and the classroom for the class. But during the pandemic, most classes are online, so this is where I paste the video call link on here. We can put down whatever web link for now. Okay. As if we were learning neurology from Travis Scott. This way, the link is easily accessible for when you need to attend, and now you don't have to shuffle through your texts or emails to find it when it's time for the event. You can choose to make the event an all-day event. I usually do this if I'm out on a trip, for example, if I know I'll be in New York for the full day. This is what it looks like. You can change the time here, so let's try making it 30 minutes longer. Or you can change the time by just dragging the event up and down. You can also change the date if you want. I'll go over repeats in a little bit. So next you can add travel time. Travel time comes in handy if I know there will be a drive to get to where I need to go. This way, I leave enough time for that accordingly. This is what it looks like if I added travel time of 15 minutes. You can invite people to this event by adding their emails. For example, if you have a group meeting, then this works out well. Let's just invite a random email just to show you what that looks like. Now look at this. It shows an icon here that lets you know that there were people invited to this event. You can add an attachment as well. For example, an important PowerPoint. The icons change accordingly like this. This would change for all of the people invited to the event. Lastly, you can add some notes or a URL. Sometimes if I have an important meeting with someone and I need to write down notes about some key discussion points, then I add that in here. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that there is also the option to make the event what's known as a repeating event. This works out well for my MBA lectures as they repeat on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. So what I do is change the event to weekly. go under Custom. Then I select the days in the week I want this event to repeat on. Now that I've done this, you can see that the event is happening every week from here on. But I also know that my program is done in August, so I can choose to end the event on a specific date or after a specific amount of times. I will select August sometime here. Just keep in mind that when trying to make a change to something, then it will ask you whether you want to change all of the repeating events or just this single one. Now, before I move on, if you've been finding this video helpful, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a like. It really helps me know that the video was informative. You can use the iCloud calendar as a way of setting reminders as well. For example, if you know Tuesday is garbage day, then you can add that in here. Let's make an event for that now, and add an alert to remind me a day before and also 30 minutes before the event is taking place. Because of this, I never actually use my reminders app on my phone and instead just use the calendar. Another tip is that I have some events under a category that I deem to be non-negotiable times, as in important events that have no room for double booking and are events that I need to sort of revolve my day around rather than being able to move that event. This would include mandatory lectures, exams, and important family time. Having this helps you know times in your calendar that are number one priority. An organization tip is to copy an event and paste it so you don't have to fill up all the details again. So let me show you how this works if I want to put a day for recycling. I would copy the garbage day event and paste it on Wednesdays, because that is the recycling day for us. I can easily change the name to recycling pickup and ask it to change that to happen weekly. As you can see here, the alerts were already there because of me copying the event. Also, earlier I mentioned how it has improved my family relationships. So oftentimes if our family members are quite busy, then it can create some conflict regarding communication of plans. My family is very close, so to be able to share our calendars with each other can help us in times when we're in a rush and we aren't able to communicate with each other about our commitments. So that is where you can share an entire calendar category with them, and this can appear on their calendar if they choose to make it visible. An example of this is on the left side, and it is my sister's classes. I usually keep this not visible, but when I need to check what her schedule is like, then I can easily do so. I won't make it visible right now for privacy reasons. So this option does not have to be for Hangout plans, as you may want your own privacy, and you may just use this for those non-negotiable plans I mentioned earlier. The important thing is you have the option to share whatever you want. To do this, input their iCloud email on here. Here, I'll show you how it's done. There, now it's all done. Okay, so other than the basics, there are some advanced settings as well. What you do is go under Calendar and click on Preferences. So this is more of personalizing your calendar to cater to you. You can change the time zone that the calendar is set in. Some of these are very minor changes, so feel free to explore that. One thing I want to talk more about is the ability to link accounts onto here. This is particularly useful if you use a Google Calendar, or maybe your email has its own calendar that can be linked onto here. An example for me is that I have my university email's Microsoft Exchange account linked. So if I get a school calendar invite, I receive that directly on here. Let me show you where those invitations end up. So here I have an invitation from Dr. Kevin Jubbel for a meeting for next Friday. He runs the Med School Insider's YouTube channel. He was nice enough to give me some of his time to discuss business and YouTube. So I will gladly click accept, and as we can see, it is on my calendar here for next Friday. I will now make all of my calendar events visible. In order to get the full benefits from using a calendar, start off with little steps and build up those habits until they become a normal part of your lifestyle. So at this point, I'm fairly experienced with using my calendar, and I know exactly what each event means. But I was sitting in a lecture hall last year, and my friend that was sitting beside me looked at my laptop and said that my calendar looks like a chess game. And that's when I told him that although it looks complicated, it actually makes my life so much easier. Here, I'll go to the time that this conversation happened around. While I'm doing that, one thing to keep in mind is you don't have to be super detailed with your schedule, like putting in the time for breakfast and other quick events. Some people find value in putting each little step, me being one of them, but there's no right or wrong way to have your calendar. So yeah, one of the benefits is that you will get more work done. If you have put your studying and getting work done time into your calendar, then you have the mental awareness that if you don't get the work done right now, then it is going to be hard to catch up later as you have other plans and commitments. Another benefit is that if you're an anxious person about forgetting things from time to time, you don't have to worry about missing an important event, as long as you're diligent with your calendar and set appropriate alerts. Some people also experience anxiety in the form of FOMO, also known as fear of missing out, which is fair. Personally, I always put living life before letting my work or studies consume my life. So by setting good study habits on your schedule, then you can make time to attend social events. Another personal tip I want to give here is to study or work when no one is hanging out. For example, on Saturday mornings, and getting most of your work done on weekdays. This way you don't have to worry about studying when you'd rather be spending time with friends. So you can see that right here in my calendar, despite the super busy schedule I had, I was making time on weekend nights to hang out with friends. Last benefit I'll discuss is that you will become a more responsible person. My friends knew that I was tough to deal with in terms of my busy schedule, but at the same time they knew I was reliable because I would be there if we had a time set to be somewhere. Another important thing is to be real with yourself. If you didn't get something done during the day, then make that change on your calendar. This way you know when you were wasting time and where you could have been more productive. For example, I was supposed to finish editing this video yesterday, but I decided to take a break. So I will move that to today and reflect on whether that was a break I truly needed or was I simply procrastinating. So lastly, this isn't a benefit, but I wanted to be completely transparent and show this. You may have weeks that look something like this. And that is okay. Sometimes you don't need to be using your calendar because you're simply taking a break in life, or maybe your calendar was getting a bit overwhelming. This leads well into the next section, which is the limitations. Don't let this be a toxic tool. Technology is here to help us, not to make us feel guilt or any other negative feelings. If you find that you slowly built up your calendar to a point where now you are prioritizing work or studying over your mental health, then that is a sign to take a break. Or else you will experience burnout and it will actually take away from your productivity. Another limitation is that there are other calendars that may be easier to use and have other features that are helpful. I have to test some of them out and I may make a video talking about them sometime in the future. One example is Fantastical, and another example is not a calendar, but it is what Ali Abdaal calls a resonance calendar using Notion, which is basically keeping track of anything he comes across that resonates with him. I know that would be super helpful because I have those moments all the time. So comment down below and let me know if you'd be interested in more calendar type videos. So yeah guys, it's honestly changed my life for the better, and I hope you guys have a similar experience as well. If you guys have any questions at all, please feel free to comment them down below. And while you're at it, please leave a like, share this video to anybody you think would find use out of this video, and consider subscribing. As always guys, take care and thanks for being part of my life. Peace. We're back on this together. I don't see another way.